Yeah, so hello everyone. And today I have something very amazing for you, a very awesome and amazing journey. I think सच में दिल को छू देने वाली journey है आशीष की. And we have with Dr. Ashish with an amazing rank of 277. So welcome Ashish
Thank you, ma'am.
and heartiest congratulations.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Right. तो आशीष फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ. कैसे तुमने स्टार्ट किया था एंड हाउ यू टर्न्ड अप फ्रॉम दैट रैंक टू दिस रैंक. तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि आप ही बताओ अपने बारे में.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Ashish Sakaria. I am from Guwahati. I did my MBBS from Sikkim Manipal Institute of Medical Sciences. I joined the regular batch in 2019 while I was doing my internship. Then I gave my NEET. I got a rank of 48,000 in the NEET PG 2020. Then I joined the TND batch, and now in this PG exam I got a rank of 277.
So I think amazing jump from 48,000 to triple digit 277. So how did you manage to do this, Ashish?
Ma'am, what I realized was it was all firstly dedication to just sit down and study. I was doing my internship along with the regular batch. So that time I did not study. I just made my notes and gave the exam. But after that, while giving the TND, then listening to all the teachers, then I started becoming a little serious, and I started my preparation properly since from February last year when the TND started. So from then I made sure that I just study and don't do anything else.
So basically, you had those notes, but you could not utilize it before the NEET PG 2020. And when you actually revise them, you utilize them, you get a difference. So how much importance will you give of, preparing these notes? Like even while you were doing the internship, how much, it is important to have notes, because when you decide that maybe from today I'll start preparing. So is it beneficial that you have notes, and that too when you have made your notes yourself sitting in the classes, because maybe you have not utilized them, but you have those concepts, you have attended the classes, and then you start revising. So how much useful it is to correlate with those classes and those notes?
Ma'am, that is the notes that to handmade yourself, that is the most important. Because just because I had the notes, that to which I made myself, when I was revising, I could actually recall all the things that particular teacher was telling in that class when I made the notes. So it made preparation very easy. And because I had that notes all summed up, that was like 90 to 95% of my preparation was based on those notes only. I used to just revise those notes, and whenever I got some question or some new concept, only that I used to add it in the notes itself. So at the end, it was the notes which I revised multiple times, and everything was there from the notes only.
So so that means you say that it is always better to prepare your notes sitting in the classes, especially in an era, when we have available the already made notes also. So if you have both the options, which option is better?
Ma'am, definitely your own notes.
Own notes are always better. And that is a different thing, that if you don't have time, or if you are a kind of a person who cannot do multitasking, you cannot listen to the faculty and write the notes simultaneously, then obviously you have that option, you can take those notes. But if you are able to do it, your handmade notes are the best thing that you can do. That is there.
Handmade notes are the best.
Yes. Then now you said that in the previous one you had that 48,000, and then you decided to take the test and discussion because you were already having our notes, right? So how did you utilize this test and discussion, and how it is crucial? Because preparing a schedule, especially in the pandemic times, was a difficult task, and most of the students were getting difficulty with how to stay focused, how to get on track. So how did you utilize this test and discussion?
Ma'am, firstly, when I joined the test and discussion, it was mainly to do questions, because I made my notes last time. I even read a few subjects before giving my exam, the last NEET, but I did not do questions at that time. So while giving the exam, I realized that I had a major problem of managing time. So I left quite a few questions last exam because I could not manage my time. So this TND, when I joined the TND in February last year, my main focus was to read and then do questions also. And that was the time I actually started doing questions and giving grand tests. So my TND helped me then. The initial few subjects were not very good because I was not used to doing questions. But gradually, as I started doing questions, I got a hang of it, and then I could improve very matlab, I could improve my scores and everything that doing questions while doing attending TND and then giving GTs. Those two were the main thing which boosted my score from what it was to what it is now.
So certainly you feel that revising only notes is not sufficient. It is not as good that as much as if you do the notes and then you start giving the test also, because application of those notes we learn actually from the multiple tests that you are giving.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. When I did my TND, I read my notes. I already read my notes a few times, but still, after the exam got postponed, I joined the fast track TND. At that time, the pattern of the question changed because the neat pattern of the question was different. So that time, I realized even though I had read my notes, there were few questions which were difficult because the pattern has changed. So that time, attempting those new pattern questions helped me to attempt these exam questions very easily. So those.
So, what was your feeling about the quality of the questions, the discussion that was taken by the faculties, like how useful it was? Because you had those notes, so you really know the difference. That what was your mind perspective before the attending the discussion and then after attending the discussion? Because notes mein sab kuch hota hai. The thing is that you lack is how to apply. So how much different it is that you have just reading the notes, and plus you are also doing the test and discussion, you are hearing the discussion from the faculties, you are attempting the test. So how much different it is?
Ma'am, it made a lot of difference because I knew the notes, but when I attempted that question during discussion, I realized that there were a few key points in the question, or there were a simple concept which was to be applied in that question, but I did not realize that I need to apply that concept. So while attending the discussion, whenever that teacher told us about that concept or that key point which we need to focus on, so I made a note of those key points. Ki whenever a similar question comes, this is the thing I need to consider next time. So that really helped because notes though was there, but the way of attempting the question, how to go about it, all that was really beneficial in these TNDs and fast track TNDs.
Okay. And how do you like the quality of the services provided by the center? Because, again, in this technical era, these things are again, important. And we want that the students should not get any problem, at least at that part. So did you get any problem, or if you got any problem, were they solved? Were your queries solved and resolved at that time?
Yes, ma'am. Personally, for me, the whole experience was very smooth. There were a few glitches, but whenever I contacted the technical team, it was just taken care of very, very fast. So it was not a problem for me.
Okay, so they always cooperated with you.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, were there many glitches, or it is only the few occasional ones which you cannot actually, escape in the technology?
Not many. There were a few glitches, but I did not mind those glitches. And whenever I just told the team about those glitches, and next when I saw it, those glitches were gone. So it was not a problem.
So they were cooperative, therefore they were helpful to you, because Anu ma'am takes a personal care about the students, that they do not get any problem, and she's always having that motherly feeling for you students, that they should get the best at the earliest possible. So thanks to her that she's taking due care, so much care of the students at the personal level, right? So what was your experience about the different tests, like which of the if you want to mention any special subject or any faculty that you felt helped you a lot, maybe your any weak subject, or that you felt came directly from the test, anything that you would like to mention from there?
Firstly, your subject, your notes were very concise. Like for Optha, I did not consult anything except the notes which I made from your class. And whenever I gave the test, there were many new topics, but you covered those topics during the discussion time. So that was all I read for Opta. But more than that, whenever you uploaded any videos or your discussion or a particular clinical series and your own story, that actually motivated me a lot.
Okay.
And for others, even anatomy was during my college time, anatomy was very weak, but sir taught it in such a beautiful way that it was one of my favorite subjects by the end. And even patho, the same thing for patho. Praveen sir, his videos, the way he teaches, everything was it is very good the way he teaches. And Rajat sir, he teaches radio very well, but for me, more than his radio, it was his videos and all his strategies. I used to follow whatever strategy he gave us. I used to always follow those strategies. So that actually helped me a lot.
Okay. So, Ashish, actually, because you had that amazing journey, or you were, that daring one. Many people, they get low at such a rank of 48K. And even this time, also, we are getting so many messages that, ma'am, should we even try, or we should lose hope of preparing once again? So, I think you are the one with the perfect example that nothing is actually difficult, and you strived so hard from 48K to such amazing rank of 277. So would you like to give any personal message for these kind of students who are having the not so good rank this time?
Ma'am, it's nothing very special. It's just that it is no one will obviously score very well all the time. But if you don't score well once, doesn't mean that you cannot score well the second time. It's just the dedication you need to put in, nothing else. Like one thing which always stuck to me was what Dr. Rajat said: you get up, you freshen up, you eat 3 meals in a day, you take some rest. But after that, there should be nothing else more important than studying. So that stuck in my mind, and that is what I used to do. I used to get up, I used to study, I used to take my breaks to freshen up, but then I used to just study, nothing else. I made sure that there were as less distractions for me as possible. So that dedication actually helped a lot.
So what was your actually mindset? Like when you got 48K, you were having the notes, but you knew that you could not actually utilize them. So what was your mindset that now you will start preparing, you will start reading those notes, or you will attend the TND, you will give more of the test. So what actually should be the right mindset at this time?
Firstly, ma'am, it is not to lose hope. Firstly, if anyone loses hope at this point, he will waste a lot of months just gaining that mental confidence back. So first is not to lose hope. And then I joined TND for the question, but mostly for the structure which the TND gives.
The
Because
schedule, you mean to say the
yes,
schedule that is very, very important for
and
them.
that way I have a schedule and I will not waste time because I know that I need to finish these subjects in these particular days. So that was helpful. And then I made sure that because I did not study properly the previous year, I made sure between two TNDs, if there were a lot of more number of days, then I try to fit in another subject so that I get multiple revisions of that subject. So I was following the TND, but then I made my own timetable to challenge myself a little bit more. So if I could do a little bit better than the schedule which was given, then it would be better for me. So I just tried to challenge myself a little bit more.
So it's always better to push your limits, and that is very good that you try to follow our schedule, and then you also try to push your limits that maybe I am able to do more. Very good. So I wanted to ask you about the discussion, like the discussions that we are having in the test and discussion series. Are you able to revise whole of the subject? Means do you have that feeling in the end of the discussion that yes, I could revise, I can get a whole perspective of this subject after I have attended this test and discussion?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Definitely. I used to keep my notes along with me. So as that teacher was discussing those questions, I used to flip my notes also. So by the end, most of the important topics were definitely covered through all those questions. If not that particular question, but during the discussion, that teacher makes sure the topic
that related topics are also discussed, because Ashish, one of the important thing is that, see, you cannot revise everything before the examination. That is a fact, you cannot do it. So we always have that thing in our mind that how to grasp those high yield topics which are not to, leave topics just before the examination. So were you able to get those high yield topics, all of them, from the test and discussion? Obviously schedule mila hame, hai na, ek humko direction mil gayi. Then you also try to push your limits ki maybe I'm able to do even more than this. But can one person, if only he or she is sticking to this test and discussion also, can get through and can get revision and perspective of all the topics, all the important high topics from those test and discussion?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, for sure. Because I used to add all the extra test and discussion points in my original notes only, but I used to bookmark those points so that next time when I'm revising my notes, I I focus more on those points, because the fact that they are being discussed in the test and discussion means they are important. And there were many questions which actually used that concept and were from those topics which are discussed in the TNDs.
So, were these questions helpful in your NEET PG 2021? Did you get had a feeling कि ये question हमने किया हुआ है, ये देखा हुआ है, or you felt that it is entirely new that you got in 2021?
No, ma'am. Majority of the questions were like कि ये topic तो किया हुआ ही है, because by the end there were so many GTs and so many tests, different tests, subject-wise tests, GTs, some cumulative series and everything. That by the end ऐसा लगा, मतलब in the exams की the questions are from the similar topic only. It was only the options which were a little tricky, so it was just a play of the options, but the questions were like कि हाँ ये सब तो किया हुआ है.
Okay. And how frequently you used to give the GTs?
Ma'am, when I started my TND, that time it was like once or twice a month. I did not give GT very frequently, but then as I heard different videos, I watched different videos, and different teachers were saying कि give GTs, doesn't matter if you are just at the beginning of your preparation or not, you should give GTs. So I started giving GTs. Then last year it was like around 3 GTs per month, but before, just like 2-3 months before this exam, NEET exam, I was giving GT 1 GT to 2 GT per week at the end.
So क्या लगा, मतलब पहले you gave it according to your choice, less of the GTs, then you saw the videos and then you followed our advice ki more of GTs. So what did you felt ki the advice was good enough? What will you advise to your juniors though?
Yes, ma'am, giving GTs are very helpful, because initially when I was giving my GTs, like in the first 5 to 6 GTs, I could not finish my paper even then, because I was not used to attempting questions that way. But then gradually I started completing my paper, and by the end, even when the pattern changed in the GTs, I used to finish my paper around 15 to 20 or 20 to 30 minutes before the allotted time, because I was so much used to giving GTs. I knew the technique of attempting the questions, and that actually helped me in the exams, because the exam was like any other GT for me, because I had given so many GTs. It was like I'm going for another GT at that time.
Yes, so that we always say that please give GTs like you are giving a main exam, so that you give the main exam as if you are just giving a GTs. You are that much relaxed, no apprehension, no anxiety. So yes, so just to summarize, Ashish, what are the things that you told us, because you had an amazing journey, and I want everybody of you who has sent me enormous messages, who is sending us messages that we have lost hope. See, there is no point of losing the hope. Just stick to your notes, revise your notes again and again, as Ashish did. Stick to the TND schedule, give a lot of GTs, just try hard, and attempt more and more tests so that you have the test MCQ practice, and do not lose confidence. Yes, so you have to believe in yourself. That self motivation should always be there. And as you know, Ashish has come up with the flying colors. The flying colors are waiting for you people also, and obviously we are there for you whenever you require us. And we are very happy, Ashish, that we were a part of your success story. Thank you so much for making us proud. We are really very, very happy. And once again, I will congratulate you from whole of the team DBMCI. Wish you all the very best for your future endeavors.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was actually the DBMCI family which was responsible for this, because if I had not gotten that structure and that path, I never imagined getting a rank this good, actually.
So thank you so much for your kind words, and we are really proud that you people are there, and we are able to contribute to your success stories. So thank you so much.